Am I an idiot for letting my brother call me dad and refusing to tell him the ugly truth? I was born when my parents were both 19. And my only other brother, let's call him Josh, was born when they were 42. They divorced shortly after Josh was introduced to the world. He was 4 months old at the time, and they both wanted nothing to do with the child. At the time, I was 23 and I was living alone with my then girlfriend who was 21, now my wife, and I'd done my best to convince at least one of them to take care of young Josh for his sake and the family's sake. But they refused adamantly and said that I should be taking custody of him instead. So I became the legal guardian of my brother and he's been living with us for the past 12 years and things have been going really smoothly for us. Josh, now almost 13, has been calling me dad and my wife mom and our 2 children, female 4, male 9, and his siblings, and he has absolutely no idea about his real parents. And to be honest, I let all of that slide. He has no idea that I'm really his blood brother and not his father, and I'm starting to feel guilty and a little weird. Some of my uncles and aunts come to visit occasionally and they are really disgusted at the fact he calls me dad and they are surprised I haven't told him the truth. They constantly message me, talk to me in private, and I cannot chat to them without this one particular topic rising up, badgering me to let him know already, but I refused. I discussed this with my wife and she thought it would be wrong to tell him the truth because none of my parents wanted to take care of him and I'm the only person in the world who gave him the father figure everyone deserves. I feel that he has the right to know what he is to me and what I truly am to him. But he's suffered enough already and I just want things to continue how it is. Reddit, am I an idiot? WEBTA if I let him know the truth. Update. About 70% of the comments are advising me to tell my son who I really am to him, and some are saying sooner than later. I've just got up to discuss this with my wife and now after a lot of hesitation, we've decided that it's best the truth comes from us and it has to come now. Right now, it's late for us, but we shall address this to him first thing this week, or even tomorrow. Thanks guys. Update. I went to my local therapist and told him about my situation and asked what to do. To keep it short, he said he's heard similar recounts from before and said it is best if I tell him as soon as possible for multiple reasons, and to make sure that my bio children are present. Multiple reasons. I asked a few of my closest friends and the majority said more or less the same thing. My wife and I decided to sit the kids down and burst the big bubble. I asked my brother Josh to come closer and I made sure I held him close and made him feel comfortable. He asked what's going on, but I started by telling us how much we cared and loved for him. Then told him everything about my parents. I put them in a bright light in hopes of a reunion, and who I am to him. Then quickly hugged him and my other 2 kids together and told him that I love all my children the same and nothing is going to change my love for him. He was shocked and asked if I was joking, but I was starting to cry a little at this point, so he knew I was serious. My bio children were very surprised too. He was in tears and asked me why I didn't tell him sooner. I didn't know what to say and said I was just trying to protect you. I'm sorry and I hope you can forgive me, but unfortunately and understandably. He left. He didn't talk to me as much, again, understandably so. I continuously offered him to go out to the park and play a bit of football. He loves that, and all his favorite things, but he just outright declined and even got a little angry sometimes for me even talking to him. I thought I messed up big time, until one day while my wife and 2 children were out shopping and we were alone. He came up to me and said, I know you're not my real father, but I want to let you know you're the best dad in the whole world. Sorry about that. I hugged him and things got pretty emotional. It would be a big lie to say my house is normal now, far from that. But things are slowly, ever so slowly, starting to brighten up. There's no longer anything to hide anymore and it feels like we are born again. Josh is a tough kid, and he handled this far better than I believed he would. I'll be looking into therapy for him to help him recover just in case it doesn't go well in the long run. I'll strive and continue to be a great dad to my kids, and a great dad to my brother, son. Thank you Reddit for pushing me towards this happy ending. Thank you for all the advice and judgments. Not an idiot. You are a shining example of how a dad is not necessarily a biological father, but a man who loves his kids with every fiber of his being. Kudos to you for taking that hard step and always being there for your son. I believe he'll learn even more about what it means to have a truly loving parent than he would have had you never told him. Wishing you and your family all the best. Not an idiot. Such a beautiful ending to this story. What a loving brother and father you are. I love you and your family for being so emotionally present with each other through this difficult situation. I'm so glad Josh came around once he had some time to process everything. Definitely made me cry happy tears. I love you. Would you have told him the truth? Let me know in the comments. This next story has some crazy parents and an even crazier boyfriend. Am I the idiot for imposing my culture even though I thought I was just being nice? Even though I, a female 23, am American, my parents are immigrants and therefore I have a different cultural upbringing than most. One thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting anyone's house. It doesn't matter if it's family or friends or that one person you kind of know but don't really like, bringing something is a must. My BF, male 28, and I have been dating for almost 4 years now, and since we both work from home he suggested we make dinner with his parents a weekly thing since we haven't been able to see each other much for obvious reasons. I love his parents, so obviously I agreed. Every week I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for them cooking for us, always using my own money, a small bottle of wine, their favorite dessert, some flowers, etc., and they always thanked me for it. This has been going on for a few months and absolutely didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my BF and I were preparing to head over. I'd gotten a cute vase of daffodils since luckily I'd found some in bloom and my BF's mom really loves them. But my BF suddenly got really mad and asked why I kept bringing stuff over every week like his parents were a charity case. Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was and that I've always done this with everyone including his friends since we met. That it was a cultural thing, but then he got even madder and told me to stop imposing my culture on everyone and it's weird since I'm white. At that point I didn't feel like going anywhere with him and just gave him the flowers and went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home he still had the flowers which he gave to me and told me he was sorry, but his parents really were super annoyed with me constantly bringing stuff over like they can't take care of themselves. And later on I got a text from his dad asking me to not come over for dinner anymore. Now my BF's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology. But I really, truly don't feel like I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them. Am I an idiot? Quick edit. I didn't realize you could edit posts directly, but I'm in a hurry to convince him to let me go over to his parents' house. I did post a brief update in fact in my most recent comment. Update. I told my BF I was sick and tired of him dancing around the issue with his parents and I was going to go over to their house whether he liked it or not. At this point I think he realized that whatever he was doing had backfired, so he sat down all angry and told me he'd explain. I sat and he told me that he'd done something very spur of the moment and that he'd texted me from his dad's phone then blocked the number but begged me to listen. That he just needed to get his parents off me for a while and to not leave. Apparently his parents had started hinting at him about marriage since my BF and I talked a lot about it. I fully expected to marry him as I said in another comment, and was honestly expecting a proposal in late spring since that's when we met. 4 years of dating didn't bother me, but I was getting excited to settle down. However, my BF apparently realized that he absolutely didn't want to commit to anything and wanted to experiment and have fun since I wasn't being fun anymore. Honestly, that just made me cry since we were each other's firsts for everything and usually very good at communicating our needs. His grand plan was to get him mad at me so I would beg for forgiveness and then he'd only accept an open relationship as an answer. Absolutely brilliant plan, I know. He'd made up with his parents getting mad but didn't expect me to blow off dinner completely, and it's like hitting a jackpot. His words, not mine. He went over for dinner, hid the flowers and said we'd gotten into a huge fight but he was going to fix it but I needed space. After he confessed all this he said he was very sorry but really didn't want to miss out on new experiences when he was still young and what I consider an open relationship, but pretend ours was strained with his parents so they wouldn't get suspicious. And I laughed his ass right out the door and told him absolutely not and to leave me alone while I packed because I wanted to have some new experiences too. He never stopped begging me to stay but I left to sleep at a friend's. After calming down for a few days I cemented the breakup and finally, actually went over to his parents. My ex-BF's dad never even noticed the phone missing but still apologized and his mom was a mess. I did and still love them and will eat dinner there without him as often as I can. I won't lie that I'm sad about 4 years down the drain, but that's life. And if that was my ex's best possible plan then I dodged the bullet by a mile. Final update. A few quick answered questions. Yes, my BF's parents do share a phone. I don't find it particularly strange since they use Facebook, video chat friends, play Candy Crush etc. on their iPads and don't have much use for a phone. They find iPads easier to use and also go everywhere together. Very cute, I know. So if someone really does need to call them, the other is right there. Previously my BF had absolutely no problem whatsoever with me bringing gifts anywhere. Like I said in a comment, he'd helped me pick things out before and is usually great at communicating whenever he feels we need to talk about something, which is why I was so confused with him. He knows it's how I was raised and was respectful to every other aspect of my upbringing. His parents are not poor and raised him with good manners and etiquette. I saw a lot of other people comment on what I was bringing. And no, I wasn't bringing gigantic vases with wilted flowers or an entire cake or multiple bottles of the same type of wine every week. Whenever I did bring something edible it was small and we'd usually consume it with dinner, and as for the flowers I'd usually just leave them in the plastic wrap they came with water. The vase was a rare thing that my BF's mom could have used for dozens of things since it was a clear glass. I also wanted to add that I'm so sorry the mods here had to deal with all the reminder me update spam. I quite literally got thousands of replies and follows and update messages, so I can't imagine how busy and stressful it was for you. People were still doing it after you told them not to. I'd go crazy trying to sort through and delete what's necessary, but you all did an amazing job. Thank you. Not an idiot. I'm so glad you laughed him out of there. 4 years and that must have been hard in its own way, but you are going on to so much better. Who has an open relationship after 4 years together? So glad you're okay, Opus. Much love. Not an idiot. Without sounding weird, I've been checking and waiting for an update as I was concerned for your welfare. I'm so sorry you had to deal with such a massive muppet of a human, but I'm glad you're rid. Would you have dumped him too? Let me know in the comments. Now for the next story. Am I an idiot for not wanting to hide that my mom is gay from my girlfriend's parents? I'm 17 and started going out with my girlfriend 7 months ago. We were already chatting before school went online and I asked her out after. So her parents want to meet mine when it's safe to do that and have dinner at their house. I'm cool with that and my moms are too. But my girlfriend told me that her parents don't know I have 2 moms and she doesn't want them to because they're not raging homophobes, but they don't like that. She just says it will make them feel weird and uncomfortable and asked if only one of my moms could go. I just don't see why I gotta lie. If we stayed together obviously they would find out, and also that would mean asking my moms if one of them would not go. I have never been embarrassed about it or weird, so don't see why it even matters. My girlfriend has been pissed at me ever since, and she just tells me to do it so it's not uncomfortable for her parents. Even my friends are saying it's not a big deal, and it's not like I'll get grounded for asking my moms to do this. I'm caught in the middle here cause I don't want to lie about my moms or exclude one of them, but everyone is acting like I'm being an ass for not doing this thing. Update: so we broke up yesterday since it had already been days of us not talking. I listened to your comments and decided to ask how she would feel if I told her only one of her parents could go because my moms are uncomfortable around heterosexual couples. She basically laughed and said it's not the same thing because that's a normal couple. That kinda got me, and I asked what's not normal about my moms. Think that's when she saw she fricked up with what she said. She said she didn't mean it like that and just knows it would be awkward and weird because her parents don't like that. Then I asked her if she would feel like that too, and she didn't say anything. We talked for a while and she still wasn't getting how this would hurt my moms asking them to hide who they are. Then it got to where she admitted it would also be embarrassing for her parents to know I have two moms. And yeah, I wasn't gonna take that and told her we're done. Not gonna be someone who's embarrassed about my moms or doesn't want others to know. That was it. My friends haven't said anything to me yet, but think I'm just gonna block them out cause I don't want to deal with their short run. I know I said in my comments I was thinking about asking my moms for advice, but since we're broke up I'm not gonna tell them why. I only told my moms it wasn't working out with her, so we're done. They don't need to because I don't want them to feel it is their fault, and they really liked my girlfriend. This would hurt their feelings knowing she was feeling that way. It's not my first breakup, but it still really sucks and I'm feeling sad. It is what it is though. Thanks for everyone's help and for telling me about my own experiences. Not an idiot. Stands and claps as a parent. If my kid came to me and told me this, I would first feel hurt, but I'd quickly get over that and feel so damn proud that my kid stood up for himself, his beliefs, and his parents. So just know this Reddit mom is very proud of you. Not an idiot. You did the right thing. The best relationships are built on shared values. The more you can surround yourself with others who share them, as relationships or friendships, the happier and more supported you'll feel.